Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between the misty mountains, there stood an old, forgotten shop. Its sign, weathered and faded, bore the name Raven's Antiques. Few dared to venture inside, for rumors whispered of strange occurrences within its dusty walls. One gloomy evening, Sarah, a curious young girl, decided to explore the mysterious shop. As she pushed the creaky door open, a musty smell enveloped her senses. The dim light revealed shelves lined with peculiar objects, each holding a story untold. Sarah's eyes fell upon a cracked mirror, its surface reflecting twisted images of the shop's interior. Ignoring a shiver creeping down her spine, she wandered deeper into the labyrinth of forgotten treasures. Suddenly, a whisper echoed through the silence, calling her name. Sarah froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She scanned the shadows, searching for the source of the voice. From the corner of her eye, she glimpsed a figure darting behind an antique wardrobe. Summoning her courage, Sarah approached the wardrobe, her footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. With trembling hands, she pulled it aside, revealing a hidden doorway leading to a narrow staircase descending into darkness. Driven by curiosity, Sarah descended into the abyss, the air growing colder with each step. At the bottom, she found herself in a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with faded portraits of faces lost to time. A voice whispered from the shadows, revealing the tragic tale of the shop's owner, a lonely soul bound to the realm of the living by an ancient curse. As Sarah listened, the air grew heavy with sorrow, and she realized she was not alone. With a sudden gust of wind, the chamber shook, and the walls began to close in around her. Panic. Sarah raced towards the staircase, the whispers growing louder with each passing moment. As she reached the top, she burst through the door into the abandoned shop, gasping for breath. With one last glance back, she saw the figure of the shop's owner fading into the darkness. A faint smile etched upon his face. From that day forth, Sarah never returned to Raven's Antiques, but the memory of her encounter lingered like a haunting melody, a reminder of the forgotten shop lost in time. Haunted by her encounter with the mysterious shop, Sarah found herself unable to shake off the feeling of unease that had settled over her. Like a dark cloud, night after night she tossed and turned in her bed, haunted by dreams of whispering voices and shadowy figures, determined to uncover the truth behind Raven's Antiques. Sarah delved into the town's archives, scouring ancient manuscripts and dusty tomes for clues about the shop's enigmatic past. With each page she turned, she uncovered fragments of a forgotten history, shrouded in mystery and obscured by time. One fateful afternoon, Sarah stumbled upon a faded photograph hidden amongst the yellowed pages of an old journal. The image depicted a group of solemn-faced individuals standing outside Raven's Antiques, their eyes haunted by a darkness that seemed to linger just beyond the frame. Driven by a newfound sense of purpose, Sarah embarked on a journey to unravel the secrets of the forgotten shop once and for all. Armed with nothing but her determination and a burning curiosity, she returned to Raven's Antiques, prepared to confront whatever darkness lay hidden within its walls. As she pushed open the creaky door, a sense of foreboding washed over her like a wave crashing against the shore. The shop, once filled with dusty relics and forgotten treasures, now lay empty and abandoned, its shelves bare and its windows shrouded in darkness undeterred. Sarah pressed on, her footsteps echoing in the silence as she ventured deeper into the heart of the shop. With each step, she felt the weight of the past bearing down upon her, a suffocating presence that threatened to consume her. At last, she reached the hidden chamber beneath the shop, its walls adorned with faded portraits and crumbling tapestries. As she gazed upon the faces of those who had come before her, she felt a chill run down her spine, for she knew that she stood on the threshold of something ancient and terrible. And then, from the shadows, a voice spoke, its words echoing with a haunting familiarity. Sarah listened, her heart pounding in her chest, as the voice revealed the truth behind the curse that had bound Raven's Antiques for centuries. With a sense of clarity that cut through the darkness like a beacon of light, Sarah realized that the key to breaking the curse lay not in fear or despair, but in understanding and compassion. And so, with a courage born of desperation, she reached out to the figure standing before her, offering a glimmer of hope in a world consumed by darkness. As the last echoes of the curse faded into the ether, Sarah emerged from Raven's Antiques, her art lighter than it had been in years. And though the shop itself lay empty and abandoned, its doors closed to the world forevermore, Sarah knew that its legacy would live on in the hearts and minds of those who had dared to enter its haunted halls. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that there was still more to uncover about Raven's Antiques. Despite the shop being closed off to the world, she felt drawn to its mysterious aura, as if a part of her remained trapped within its shadowy confines, determined to unravel the remaining secrets. Sarah sought out the help of a local historian known for his expertise in arcane lore. Together, they pored over ancient manuscripts and whispered legends, piecing together the fragmented history of Raven's Antiques. Their research led them to a forgotten burial ground hidden deep within the woods, where they uncovered the final piece of the puzzle, an ancient tomb bearing the name of the shop's original owner, a sorcerer rumored to have dabbled in dark magics. With trembling hands, Sarah and the historian opened the tomb, revealing a chamber filled with relics of a bygone era. Amongst the dust and decay, they found a book bound in cracked leather, its pages filled with spells and incantations long thought lost to the annals of time. As they studied the ancient tome, Sarah felt a strange energy coursing through her veins, as if the very essence of Raven's Antiques was reaching out to her from beyond the grave. With each word she read, she felt the barriers between the living and the dead began to blur, until she stood on the precipice of a world unseen, driven by a sense of purpose she could not explain. Sarah delved deeper into the mysteries of the book, unlocking secrets that had lain dormant for centuries. With each revelation, she felt a connection forming between herself and the shop's original owner, a bond forged in the fires of destiny. And then, with a sudden clarity that cut through the darkness like a ray of sunlight piercing the clouds, Sarah understood the true nature of Raven's Antiques. It was not simply a shop filled with forgotten treasures, but a gateway between worlds, a bridge spanning the divide between the living and the dead. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Sarah vowed to use her powers for good, to protect the world from the darkness that lurked within. Raven's Antiques, and though the shop itself remained closed off to the world, its legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of those who had been touched by its haunting presence. As Sarah stood before the crumbling facade of Raven's Antiques one final time, she knew that her journey was far from over. For as long as there were mysteries left unsolved and secrets left uncovered, she would continue to wander the shadowy realms of the unknown, a guardian of the forgotten and a seeker of truth.